Are you a coach who's tired of drowning in complex marketing strategies? Welcome to Simple Client Attraction for Coaches, the bite-sized podcast that transforms how women coaches attract their ideal clients without the complicated systems or endless marketing tasks. I'm your host, Sandra Fidelis, and each episode I bring you straight talking conversations with successful coaches and industry experts who share their most effective and simple client attraction strategies. Subscribe now and discover how to fill your practice with dream clients in less time than it takes to enjoy your morning coffee. And today I have Sherri-Lee who is a trailblazing business strategist, marketing expert, and client attraction mentor who partners with high-achieving spiritual entrepreneurs to build thriving, scalable businesses, specializing in creating the essential foundations for impactful marketing and profitable ad strategies. Sherri-Lee empowers her clients to prepare for and execute campaigns that attract the right clients, amplify their visibility, and drive meaningful results. Her expertise lies in creating aligned, actionable strategies that set the stage for sustained growth and success. And today she's speaking to us about DMs to dollars, how to turn your content into clients without cold DMs or feeling sleazy. So welcome, Sherri-Lee.
Thank you, Sandra. I'm so happy to be here and talk to you about this.
A lot of people are scared of the DMs, right? Like they want to be connecting with more people via DM. And there's a lot of people out there saying make sales through DMs without having to do sales calls, right? So How do you get people to the DMs without cold messaging them and feeling like you're ick, you know?
Yeah, and I love this question because, I mean, we've all experienced it. Somebody sends us a friend request, we look at their profile, we accept it, and 2 seconds later, we have a pitch in our DMs where they are trying to sell us something right out of the gate. And that's where the it comes in. And I don't think anybody needs to employ those strategies. I don't know if those work. I mean, they must work because people are teaching it and, you know, people are still doing it. So it must work to an extent, right? But I personally don't want to have to message 1 million people to get 10 sales. That's just not my jam at all. So what I don't want to do is hit the DMs with a sale right away. I want to realize that, you know, getting into somebody's DM first is a privilege to me. And it's an opportunity for me to learn about them, which helps me get better at my business. The more I learn about my prospects, the better I am at my business. So there's a bunch of ways to approach this. But one of the things I get my clients to do is every day we intentionally send 10 new friend requests out to people. But I don't know about you, I've got 100 friend requests sitting in my, and I look at it and go, I don't know why I should accept you. Like, this is just random. I don't know why. So those friend requests go out with a DM, but they aren't a DM with a pitch. It's a DM with, here's something from your profile. Here's something that you posted that I really resonated with, or I really appreciated this piece of content, or I wanted to learn more about this thing that you were talking about. We approach them as if we're approaching a new friend in a coffee shop. So sending, you know, a new friend request every day, and along with a hello DM, a welcome DM, something that doesn't immediately say, I sent you this friend request so I can sell you this thing, but I sent you this friend request because I like this thing that you did on your profile and I'd like to learn more about you. And letting them come back and having a conversation. And I think the big mistake a lot of people make is they're trying to get from into the DMs and make the sale in, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then they're gone on to the next one. I want to build relationships with people. So I'm going to go into that DM and I'm going to say that, and they're going to respond. And then I'm going to say something else and we're going to have a conversation. And I don't need to get that sale today. But if I know how to nurture that relationship, that sale is going to come. DM with the friend request. Like it to me, there's no friend request going out without it. The other side of it is we receive friend requests each day. So we could easily be accepting them and sending a friend request or sending a DM right away, not as a pitch, but, you know, thanks so much. I just looked through your profile. I see this is what we're similar. What made you send a friend request to me? And start the conversation. So that's one piece. But really, what I want to be doing every day is creating content that gets people to raise their hand, help me identify them so that I can send them a DM right away, depending on what I'm offering. So if it's a post that I'm creating around my lead magnet and people are saying, yes, I want your freebie, I'm just going to go back into that post and I'm going to reply to them directly in the post and drop the link to the freebie. I'm not going to get into conversations with everybody who asks for a freebie because that could get overwhelming. But if it's one of my sales posts where I'm talking about the outcomes that I help people achieve and people have said a certain word, or I'm going to say to them, DM me to learn more. Now, instead of
Mhm.
me chasing people, I've got them coming to me,
Right.
right?
Katie,
They're DMing me. Go
I
ahead.
know that you want to ask quickly here, like how you make the transition. I know that you do ads as well, right? So you run
Mhm.
ads for coaches and entrepreneurs. How did you make the transition from teaching or from doing that to like teaching people how to do it organically?
I started out organically. When I started on Facebook, there were no ads. So
Okay.
that's how long I've been around. I started my business in 2010. So there were no ads
Mhm.
back then. So it was all organic. It was all about figuring out how to do this organic. And then when ads came about, I don't know exactly when. I jumped in around 2015 to ads because I could see how they could supercharge the organic
Yeah.
results that we were already getting, right? And business is an evolution. My business does not
Mhm.
look at all like what it did in 2010 at all. Um, so over the years, as I learned what my market needed, I adapted my services to meet that need. Not me
Mm.
saying, this is what I sell and you're going to buy what I'm giving you. I find out what they need and then I create a solution to that.
Mhm.
So for a while, there was a lot of people who wanted ads management. Now, I don't handle clients that have, $10,000, $20,000 a month budgets because I really use a low cost, low tech system of ads to help people really supercharge their organic. So we're talking about ads on a $500 a month budget is all we need
Mhm.
in order to have a big impact when you've got a system in place. So I don't go after those big high ticket as clients. I'm literally created this as a way for the women in my community to take what they were doing organically, add some ads to it to kind of put fuel on the fire so that they could get faster, better results and end up having the life that they really love. So they could live wherever, do
Mm.
whatever they want, right? It's a tool.
Beautiful. I love that. So you work with a coach who is maybe wants to do some low cost ads, but really their main focus is teach me how to get results organically, right? And if
Yeah.
it comes down to it, we're going to do some ads together.
Yeah. And not everybody needs to have ads. I mean, first you need to know how to grow your audience and connect with those people and get leads, their email addresses from them, and make sales organically. So what we do is we lay the foundation of the organic strategy and we get all of that working. And then we just put the ads in over top so that we're still using the same kind of content system, but now we've got ads going. So Facebook's showing it to more people.
Mhm.
Maybe we're
Excellent.
including something like mini chat to do the responding for us when people are responding to our posts with a specific word. Now we've got a bot that's actually doing a piece of that connection for us because we're talking about volume. So ads are really good to give volume, but you've got to have the foundation in place before you jump into ads.
Okay. So let's kind of speak to this woman who is out there and she is doing the thing. She's making friends. She's doing it the right way that you've taught her. And she is leading with giving value rather than just, trying to get them on a sale the first conversation. Once they respond to the DM, how do you get that conversation to a sale?
I love that. Yes. Now, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit because the biggest thing I hear from people is I send DMs, but then they don't respond. And of course, there's a lot of reasons for that. Maybe what you've said hasn't been enticing and they say, I'll do it later, and then they forget. They might not even see your DM because it's gone into the message requests. And message
Yeah.
request now has 2 sections too, which, so convoluted. So it's how we approach that first DM. If this is somebody we aren't friends with, that we have never spoken to, but they've, commented on a post, I'm going to send them a DM that just says, "Hey, Sandra, can you see this message?" And they say yes,
Hmm.
because it's so light. They don't feel immediately like I'm going to pitch to them. I don't go, "Hey, thanks for commenting, and here's the link where you can buy it." I don't hit them with that. I just say, "Can you see this message? It's very safe." And they say, "Yes, I can." And then I say, "Great, you commented on this post and you were interested in this thing." My choice here is I could just say, "Here's the information and here's the link. Let me know if you have any questions," and leave it with them. Or we can go deeper and ask them some qualifying questions. "Can I ask you a couple of questions before I give you the link?" Hopefully you've
Hmm.
taken some time to look at their profile so you have a little bit of an idea of what they do. Ask them how long they've been doing what they've been doing. What inspired them to get started with that? What do they love the most about it? Who are their best clients? Like, express interest in them.
I
They
was
will
just gonna
talk
say,
endlessly.
be interested in them like you would a new friend.
Exactly. Exactly. It amazes me how many people actually feel that, but they get kind of intimidated or blocked by the technology, that they forget to build
Right.
relationships. And I'm always saying, remember when we went to live in-person networking events? You didn't just walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, buy this thing from me." And yet we
Yeah.
do that on social media. So let's not do that anymore.
Hmm.
People love talking about themselves. You will always learn so much if you just learn how to ask them questions about themselves, right? And when they say, well, so then you could say you ask them those 3 or 4 questions to find out about them. Then you could say, "So what do you think is the biggest struggle that you're having right now? Or why do you think you aren't getting the clients that you'd like right now?" And now they're much more inclined to tell you because you have expressed interest in them first. You can't just walk up to somebody on the street and say, "Marry me."
Right.
Well, I mean, you can, I guess, but how well
Right.
would
I
that
don't
work
think the
out?
result will be that great.
Right.
So yeah, so you teach entrepreneurs how to build relationships in Facebook. And I think that one of the biggest blocks is the feeling that I need to enroll this person quickly, very quickly.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, I don't have much time. I'm not sure what the motivator is. People feel like it needs to happen so fast. I think it's
Yeah.
because what we hear on Facebook a lot from a lot of the really successful people is, I ran one ad and I made $1 million. I did one post and I
Mhm.
made $1 million. I was sitting at the beach and I made 20K without even looking at Facebook. And we see that all the time and we think it happens that fast. But what
Right.
they don't tell you is it took them 8 years to get there. It took them 10
Yeah.
years to get there. Or, there's all that missed information. And so we just do what we think they're doing, but they've grown to where they're at. And
Exactly.
we can't leap, just like our
Yeah.
clients can't leap to the first paid offer necessarily off of a post. We can't leap from trying to make consistent 10K months to $100,000 months like that. It just isn't going to happen. Our brain won't do it. We don't have the systems in place. We don't have the processes in place, and we aren't skilled enough at the process yet, right? It's the
Hmm.
repetition of the process that makes us masters of the process.
Like you said, the systems need to be built, right? The mindset and the energy needs to be there as well in order for you to be able to create that thing that you want on that level. So,
Mhm.
with all of that, what would you say is one nugget that you want everyone to take away from this conversation?
I love that. Tony Robbins didn't fill a stadium of 100,000 people the first time he held an event. So
No,
if
he
we
did not.
think that we just are going to post once and we're going to have the sales that we need for the month, or we're going to create one funnel or one lead magnet, and that's all it's going to take, we're going to go live once, host one workshop, boom, we're masters at it all. It's not the way it goes. All Tony talks about is the end result today. And that's the same with, all the big gurus. And that's great because that's inspiration. But I want you to remember that they did this thing a million times over to get where they're at. And if you're just doing it the first 10 times, you've got a ways to go. So be kind to yourself. You are working towards it, but don't expect yourself to make that big leap, right? And allow yourself the time to become masterful at what you do and all the pieces that go along with it. That's when you're going to start seeing the big results that you want.
Beautiful. Beautifully said. Thank you so much for being with us today and for sharing. And I will definitely have you back on, my dear.
Thanks so much, Sandra.
Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Simple Client Attraction for Coaches. I hope today's bite-sized strategies have given you practical ideas you can implement right away in your coaching business. If you'd like to watch the video of our interview, then head on over to simpleclientattractionforcoaches.com. It's the name of the podcast.com. Did you find value in today's episode? If so, please share it with other coaches in your network who could benefit from these straightforward, bite-sized strategies. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us. Until next time, remember, client attraction doesn't have to be complicated. Small, consistent actions can lead to remarkable results. I'll see you on our next episode with more simple strategies to help your coaching business thrive.